Welcome back to Conrad Chevy. I want to give you a little quick update of what I've done this past week. So I've taken the radiator out. I was actually going to take it to the radiator shop, but July 4th week they were closed the whole week. Small town charm. So there's an idea of what the front of the engine looks like right now. The water pump turns a little bit. Hear it dragging there. So and I still haven't tried to turn the engine. I'm still too afraid it might actually do more damage than good because it's sitting so long. But today I've got the back end jacked up, got it on jack stands, and I'm going to change out the rear brakes and my final two brake lines. So let's get into that box. Most important part. Old Honda hatchback. Wagon, excuse me. Great. Alright, took a little bit of effort, but I got the drum off. Had to use a little bit of penetrating liquid, and for the first time I had to use a little bit of heat on this to get it out. So here's the first look at it here with my, had some brake cleaner over here. Alright, let's see how this cleans up. One thing I'm noticing, these are different from what's up front. On there, let's see where the, okay, there's the part for the parking brake, right there. So I've got a new wheel cylinder, I've got a new line that goes back to the other side, and then new shoes. So short side toward the front of the car. That to the rear of the car. So to get everything disassembled, and hopefully the nuts will break pretty easily on this. I did on all the others. So let me get all this taken apart and see how it looks. Hey everybody, I'm gonna stop kind of midway in changing the wheel cylinder out. What I did notice after the fact, if you leave the bolts in, it's a lot easier to get your lines out. And then it's got this block here on the back. It just kind of helps moving for when the line comes in on the side. So I don't know if my replacement line is going to be at that angle, if I'll need this block or not, but it's got a little pinhole in it on the side, and then the bolt has one hole in it there, and it's hollow throughout, so I'd have to line that up. So I'm gonna double check my lines and see if I need to put this back in, or if the lines were designed to just go straight back in into the back side of this. It'd be a whole lot easier if this was true, if the lines just go straight in there, because that's just one extra point there that I gotta line up. But like I said, it was easier after the fact if you keep the bolts in to remove the lines, and then it keeps the wheel cylinder in place. But you know, it looks pretty clean. Just some, you know, light surface rust there, stuff, not too bad. There's the for the emergency brake. It's kind of disorganized right now, but I've got everything that was to the back side of the vehicle is right here. Everything to the front was over here, so I'm trying to put everything in the same place. I've been moving my cardboard around. But let me take a look at my lines and see what I got. All right, I got the brakes on. These things here were more difficult than the ones up front because of this weird, and not the standard one where you can take the tool here and push in and turn it. But a set of needle nose pliers, and then just we just push in here and grab a hold of this and turn it while you're holding it from the back. That seemed to help out the easiest. Now on the back of the wheel cylinder, that little part that I showed you, I'm trying to put marks on it so I can line it up, but I really couldn't see the marks when you had a socket on it or a wrench on it. So what I figured out was, since the brake line, here's the old line, so it comes in this way. So once you set it on, looking at it this way, you take a 5/8 wrench, open end wrench, and you can hold that block, and then you get a 5/8 socket and you turn it while you're holding that block still, and you can look this way and you can see when those holes line up. So that was the easiest way to do it, and you just give it just enough torque that those holes line up and the block is sitting straight, so your new line can come in the correct way on it. So that's how I was able to get that accomplished on it. One other thing I didn't mention earlier, and I had to look it up several different places, when you're trying to loosen it up, and it's probably different on depending upon which car you're working on. So going at it from the back, so if you're going, let's see here, trying to figure out the direction to go to loosen the brakes, because I'm trying to get the hub off. So if you go down with it from the back side, you're actually expanding the brakes out, and if you go up with it, you're closing the brakes in. So if you're trying to get the hub off, or get the thing off, and you want to make sure the brakes are in, go up with it on it, and then that'll close it up. So I had to search quite different places to figure that out. Nobody expressly said that. The book doesn't say it. It just says turn it until it's getting tight, and then basically if you turn one way and it's not getting tight, then turn it the other way. But it doesn't tell you which way to turn it to begin with. So, but this is on the passenger side. So on the passenger side, it's going that way. So I'm going to put everything back together, kind of clean up my mess a little bit, and then get to the other side. All right, I finally got this side done. The the adjuster on it was stuck about halfway, so the drum was just kind of partially coming off. It took a while wiggling it off and prying in the right places to where I didn't break anything, and it finally came off. But I finally got the adjuster part freed up, so it's all the way in now. And one thing I noticed on the other side, when I had the tire off, I couldn't take the hub and spin it around. It just would not turn. So this side was just locked up that much that I couldn't spin it around. When I had the tire on it, I had enough torque there to turn it around. But once I got everything free, got everything put back on, everything spins around just right now. So the only thing I need to do is adjust the brakes, get them close on there before I start bleeding them. Hopefully I'll bleed them next weekend. On that other part that goes on the back of the wheel cylinder, I noticed I'm trying to line up the holes on the other side. Looked at that bolt a little closer, and where that hole is, it's actually an indentation on it, and then it widens back out. So you probably don't have to have it lined up. I just lined it up anyway. It's still tight, but it's the indentation on that bolt allows the fluid to go all the way around it, and then it finally goes into that hole. But kind of like indexing a spark plug, I'm gonna lining it up there. So it might help a little bit, might not, I don't know, but that's just the way I did it. So next step is, like I said, bleeding the brakes. So I'll need some help for that. So I'll wait till next weekend on that. While I was underneath, I got a good look at the gas tank. A little bit of surface rust on the gas tank. Don't know if it'll clean up or not. I don't know if anything's still in the gas tank or not. Still had radiator fluid or coolant in the radiator. Still had some brake fluid in some of the lines. I haven't tried draining the engine yet of oil. Don't know if there's oil in it or not. Don't know if there's gas in it or not. So, but it's been sitting for 55 years, so probably gas is all. If there was any in it, it's probably dried up by now. So, but thanks for watching. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and the like button on that. Pass it along to your friends, and we're making progress on it. Thanks for watching.